Schoolboy Q, Man of the Year on the Clique. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, do you think it's the appropriate time to bring our guest into the studio? He's on the phone, but I mean, hey, it is what it is.
He's here. He's right now. Ladies and gentlemen, pro athlete of the NFL Redskins, Washington Redskins, Mr. Chris Chester.
Chris, what's up?
Hey, how you guys doing?
How you doing tonight?
Hey.
I'm good.
For those who don't know, Mr. Chester's been a part of the NFL for 9 years now? You're a veteran, right?
Yeah, I'm going on 9 years.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal, man. But I know we did a little homework, and looking at your stats in the background, you play basketball. How'd you get into football coming off of basketball?
Yeah, I kind of grew up playing basketball. I was a huge Laker fan.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up on the West Coast, and I'm about 6'4", which is tall in regular people's world. But
Yeah, it is.
that's not NBA tall.
Yeah, how did you manage with that? When did you get that tall? Like 18, 19?
I just grew pretty steadily. I was never the tallest kid, but I was always one of the taller kids, and
That's 6'3".
I never hit like a crazy growth spurt or anything. I just kind of grew steady.
See, I was in a class where I noticed some of the people around me were growing spurts, and I was like, am I not being fed something at home, or is the grass greener in other people's homes or something? What's going on in my world?
Yeah, I had a lot of peanut butter and jelly. And
you see, that might have been it, because I avoided the budget food in school. Peanut butter and jelly wasn't my thing. I was more of a pizza guy.
Pizza, yeah.
But I'm a little bit jealous of you. I just want to start there. You guys acquired one of my favorite, wide receivers, DeSean Jackson. Congratulations for you. And
I'm excited to see him play.
I know, man. You guys over there in Washington. You guys, I'm an Eagles fan, so you guys are acquiring a lot of talent. So is my team, the Eagles. But I mean, to come off, you got Pierre Garçon, you have DeSean Jackson now, and you have one of the elite quarterbacks who's he's been going through his little injuries and things like that, and then you have a offensive line was 2012, 2013 one of the number one offensive lines. You know what I mean? And what is the tone and the morale as a veteran in the locker room?
It's exciting, considering that we didn't play as good as we wanted to last year.
Mm-hmm.
But we know of the potential that we have to be a real explosive offense, and our defense is they're growing as well, and they've added a lot of talent on that end with Hatcher, another guy from the division,
mm-hmm.
and just Ryan Clark, safety. He was in Pittsburgh forever, also a great player. So we're doing some things and giving ourselves a good chance to actually achieve our potential.
It's hard to keep up. In NFL, you guys, one minute I look at my phone, I turn away, and another deal has crossed where one team may have crossed over to a different team, or players just got traded for X amount of players. You know what I mean? It's always new deals coming out. Have you ever find yourself in that type of position where you're well, I don't know if they're going to keep me this year, or I don't know how I'm looking on the line. You know what I mean? Because I know it happens year in and year out, or month to month. Things happen.
Yeah, it's they say the NFL stands for not for long. So, you just take advantage of it. You can't really worry about that. You have to. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
It's all good. It's all
Wait.
good. Hold on.
What is happening? Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, please.
We usually sound our own fire alarms and gunshots on this show, but I see you brought your own.
There's just what's calling ambulance just drove by.
Okay.
Everyone's okay. I'm fine. If you
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So, how do you think with players the NFL's cracking down, leagues are cracking down on players and the ethic that they carry behind them? DeSean Jackson, he's a player, and you're a player. Is it right that the players are being judged based on the people they keep around them? I'm pretty sure you didn't grow up around the nicest group of people, or maybe you did. Or I know that some teammates that's on your team who didn't have some of the best backgrounds coming up, or with friends and as such, but they've got to the point where they're at in their career, and now they're being judged. Are they supposed to drop their friends, or you know what I mean? I don't see that as right. I wouldn't hope that this station would drop me or see fit that they understand, where I come from, my background.
Oh no, we would.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, I mean, I to a certain extent, I understand the NFL's position.
Mm-hmm.
Just because these guys, these teams have so much money invested in these guys, so they don't want to see their investment wasted. But at the same time, in all reality, none of us, even if you grew up in the nicest neighborhood, you still got some people that are around you that are maybe not the best people.
They could be family members. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, and you're not just going to abandon your family. So, at the end of the day, it's on the players just to be smart and make good decisions. And the thing with DeSean is like he hasn't done anything. That's what kind of bugs me the most about it.
Everything is based off pictures and judgment. Like, okay, the dude who was his friend did whatever. That's something else. And then you know what? The law enforcement kind of vouched for DeSean Jackson and said we spoke to this kid and everything checks out fine. You know what I mean? This kind of weird, and I just seen that the Eagles, and like I said, I'm a fan. I just felt that they did him unjust, and they were looking for a reason, maybe to let's get out of this. You know what I mean? Let's back out because it may be a headache.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because you shouldn't be guilty by association. It's
definitely
one thing if you have a history or something, but from what I know, he hasn't done anything and been a good teammate and stuff. So definitely,
but I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
He's definitely. I'm pretty sure he can contribute some good things to the team and offensive wise. And I'm pretty sure that he's maturing. He has guys like you around, and he's been through the league, so he knows where he's going, what he should be doing. But I mean, the best of luck to him. But I want to move on a little bit more so into you. You know what I mean? You said that. What did you call the NFL? The guy how you refer to it?
Not for long.
Not for long. Well, now in my past few readings of this past couple weeks, I'm finding the league not to be not so fun. The not fun league anymore.
Not fun league, exactly. Yeah.
They're cracking down on everything. I mean, the penalties, that you can't use social media 90 minutes before the game, after the game. My man Graham can't even dunk on the pole anymore. After he nearly brought it down, but is taunting one of the things your team focuses on, or not taunting, but is that a part of the morale on the team? I grew up football. That was like trash talking on the field. We'd say anything that happens, your mother, your brother, the word slip, and then.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. This is, one of the most popular, I think it's the most popular sport in the United States.
Definitely.
And, it has the highest ratings. Monday Night Football is one of the highest rated shows, things like that. And I kind of think it's a bad move by the NFL to be so anti personality. The fans like seeing that stuff. They appreciate it, and at the end of the day, everyone, I'm not a guy that's going to run around. That's not really the nature of offensive line, I guess. But I'm not one to taunt or I don't know, be real flamboyant. But that's how some guys play. That's just part of the game. So.
It is a part of the game, and it sucks that they're taking pieces of it. And it's and I don't know what's to come from years from. Maybe Mark Cuban was right that the league in some ways are spiraling down. Did you see that reference? What he said?
Yeah, I saw that. I think he might be onto something. It's hard to see that this league will ever collapse just because it's just so popular. Football is, but I'm not. At the same time, I don't know if they've made all the right decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to bash the NFL at all, but I'm all for the NFL and love the game of it. But I think part of it is they're taking some of the fun parts out of it, like the celebrations, and then you have situations where I don't agree with. You have Richie Incognito or Riley Cooper, kind of the stuff that happens on the field that's kind of racial, or you're actually harming within person's mind or their credibility, as a character, as a human being on the field and off the field. You're supposed to embrace your teammates, and at the end of the day, you guys are all brothers because sometimes you end up on the same team one way or another, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is like it's like a great social experiment in the NFL. You got guys that grew up in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, and you got guys that grew up in Compton. You got these different groups of people from all across the country, and they all have to work together for a common goal. And sometimes there is going to be personalities that clash, but I got to say I've had some close friends with people from parts of the country that I would never, expect to have relationships with, growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm grateful for it in that aspect. I guess it's kind of broadened my perspective on the world.
You seem truly blessed. Like I've read some of this thing. Like you have a deep faith in religion and things like that, and transition of being a straight edge guy. Like I see that you don't let the fast life, so to speak, the money, the glitz, and the glamour, kind of mess up your character in any way. Like you remain a straight edge. I would say good athlete. Something that somebody could leave a honorable background for people to follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's because of my wife and kids. I don't want to be, I'm not above having a good time. Don't get me wrong, but I just try to make good decisions, and I got to set an example for my boys and my daughter. So it's important to me to not end up on ESPN
or TMZ.
Yeah, or TMZ.
Well, Chris, hey, it's Malcolm here. If you don't mind me asking, how old are your kids exactly?
8, 4, and almost a year and a half.
Oh, so you had your first kid, a year after you were in the league.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so you didn't go through the whole, I know, I see, a lot of your cohorts in the NFL, there's, this whole side chick epidemic and, the crazy stalkers. Did you ever go through that? Like, was there ever a time where you were, quote unquote, having the fun of, an NFL, player?
Yeah. I mean, it's like I kind of, you go from having no money to having, a nice little chunk of money at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, I did a good job of making good decisions. So far, so good, at least, knock on wood, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but, I didn't want to be a statistic was my thing. And my mom was not really into sports, but as soon as I got into sports, she always said, "Don't be a dumb jock," and that kind of stuck with me. She said,
Right.
"Don't be that guy." So it just kind of stuck with me.
So did you when you came in the league, were you married already, or you married after?
I got married going in my
in?
first year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big time in your life.
I mean,
Yeah.
Being engaged, going
that's
to the
almost
league.
like I don't know,
All these
we're not
changes
married.
happening at once.
Well, none of
Yeah.
us here are married, but some relationships, okay. But I'm just thinking straight. That's almost straight out of college for some of us into the real world with marriage. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you probably lived out some of your years in high school. I mean, high school and college as being a ball player. I'm pretty sure, right? Like having those wild party nights, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
He was
curious.
like, oh yeah, turn up.
Every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could not imagine going to the NFL. So how old were you when you went into the NFL exactly?
Let's see here. I was 22.
22.
So that's a late bloomer kind of.
If I was going to the NFL right now, first of all, I'd be no good. I think I'd be stumbling out of clubs every night. I think I would just get so caught up in the life. So I commend you for having a good head on your shoulders, but also by having a good support system behind you. And I know my parents would be there to crack my skull too. So I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, so this week, training started this week? Was it off-season training?
Did it start yesterday?
It started Monday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we started on Monday.
Did you started on Monday as well?
Yeah.
Is it a player option for certain players or veterans? Well, I don't want to show up because I heard DeSean Jackson's out and having parties or whatever, vacation. But I know
it's kind of one of those mandatory, voluntary type deals.
Is it how a contract is structured or packaged before you come in or whatever?
Kind of, they want you to be there, and I for me it was just because we have a new coach and we're putting some new things in. It's good to get a jump on it.
Definitely, I would.
Smart.
Yeah, that's a smart
Very
decision.
smart.
You get a head start. You already loosened up and ready to go. You know what you're facing and where you can kind of patch up on your work where you may be off from taking off from the season.
Right. Yeah.
What are your eating habits when you downtime? Are you eating macaroni and cheese and stuff like that? My man Malcolm over here, he's a disgusting pig. I don't know if you were listening a little before you called in. He decides right before you called in, he said, "I'm gonna pop in a sour head."
But okay, Chris, listen. Isn't it okay if you have a serious, workout regimen or you eat right all the time? Don't you splurge once in a while? It's not such a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to eat pretty good. Eat a good amount of fish and chicken, and obviously good amount of I eat red meat every so often.
So does that?
Don't get me wrong, I love a good steak, but
Yeah. So does that trickle down to your kids or?
yeah, my kid. I got a funny story about that actually. One morning, I was taking my oldest son to school, and I got up. I didn't really feel like making breakfast for him. So I was like, how about we just go grab a donut on the way? And he kind of was like, yeah, we can do that. But that's not good for me, Dad. I was like, okay. I'll just...
You raised them well.
Are they into organized sports yet?
Yeah, doing baseball, basketball, and a little...
Wow. So you want your kids to go into some type of professional sports at the end of it all?
At least it'd be nice if they could go through college for free. That'd be pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I wish I could throw a ball so I could have went to college for free, too.
Don't hurt my pockets, please.
Yeah.
He's trying to hold on to that chunk of change. I'm not mad at you, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what? With kids, we were talking about a lot of kids, they're not in the organized sports. And when there was an argument, not an argument, but more like a discussion we had said earlier. Like, we know some of the 16-year-old kids here had actually set a fire to his apartment. And we're like, a lot of kids these days, they're all into their technology. And they're not going out playing. They're not doing anything that's fundamental. Well, at least in inner cities like New York, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure down there you have loads of time and like space for like organized things. I've seen this one thing on TV. It was like Friday Night Tykes or something like that. Where it's kids like really going gridiron like sports. You know what I mean? Parents getting crazy into it. Are you that type of dad?
No. If you're good enough, because at the end of the day, most people aren't good enough to be professionals, in whatever sport it is, whether it's baseball, basketball, football. So if you're even kind of good enough, there'll be plenty of serious ball to be played. I don't, especially now. Maybe high school when you really start getting. I would even say maybe middle school a little bit. You kind of start building that work ethic, but right now it should just be fun, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, and I have one.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh, I have a question
for
too.
you.
We have lots of questions. Okay, Renee, you go first.
This is Renee here. I wanted to know what kind of music you have playing on your iPod.
Yeah, what are you trained to?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have those long training days, man.
Yeah, like my pregame mix is like kind of a mix of like hip hop from the '90s and like mostly West Coast artists.
Okay, and
I was just going to ask some big, but okay.
What song do you definitely have that sets the mood for turbo, like pumps you up when you're feeling like you need that energy?
Yeah, like my go-to song is I got what's it called? Spiteful Chant, Kendrick Lamar is on Section 80.
All right.
Okay, so you listen to mixtapes as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, Chris, anytime you come out here to New York, you can come kick it with the Clique. And, I'm just one tweet away, text away, however you want to stay in contact with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Chris Chester for joining us here on Clique, WKRB.
And really quickly, what's your Facebook, your Twitter? How can people reach you? What's your website? All that good stuff.
The Twitter is ChesterChris66, at ChesterChris66 on Twitter.
And, man, I hope you have the best of season. And whenever you have downtime, when you come up here, I don't know if you're playing the Giants anytime soon, but just, holler at us and we'll be right around.
All right, guys.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks.
All right, it was a lot of fun. Our friend Chris Chester. He's a good guy.
Yay.
Really good guy. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go, come back, talk some entertainment, and we'll be back with more of The Clique on WKRB. Keep clicking.
Streaming live from Brooklyn to wherever you are. This is 90.3 FM. WKRB.org.